Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Jared and this is the Galloway farm, and today we have a new addition to our homestead. We got goats! So we now have a small herd of goats. We have one buck and 4 does. We picked them up from a guy about an hour and a half from us. We picked them up at the beginning of September. As of the release of this video, it'll probably be a week or 2 ago. But the buck's name is Michael Jordan because he is the goat. Then we have this white face one over here. Her name is Blossom. We have 2 of the black girls. One has blue eyes and her name is Dolly. One has brown eyes, which is the one here inside the tire, and that's June. The reason we named her June is because we have an all-black Cocker Spaniel, and his name is Cash, so it just fit for the 2 of those. And then way in the back there with the beautiful face, her name is Honey. These, the 2 blue eyes and the 2 brown eyes are sisters, and they are approximately 8 and 9 months old respectively. So the one with the brown eyes are about 9 months old, the one with the blue eyes are about 8 months old, and our buck here is unrelated from these girls. So our herd here is all Nigerian dwarf goats, and the reason we went with Nigerian dwarfs is because they're smaller. We wanted to both literally and figuratively start small. We did start with 5 instead of just 2 because we kind of knew what we wanted. Even though we've never owned goats before, we knew what we wanted to get into. The reason we got the buck obviously is we do plan on breeding them over time. Like I said, he's already in here with them, so he can go ahead and start breeding at any time, and that would give us kids probably sometime between the February, March, April time frame. They take about 5 months during gestation. And where we are here in North Carolina, it doesn't get very cold even in the winter months, so we're not worried too much about them dropping kids on frost or snow or anything like that. With them kidding, that will also give us access to milk, and we do plan on milking these goats. Nigerian dwarfs are great for their milk production. They're also smaller in stature, so they don't take as much protein to feed them when it does come time for milking them. We plan on doing some different things with those milks, making cheeses, lotions, soaps, and things of that nature. And as you can see, they're super friendly. We've only had them a couple of days and they already will start to let us pet on them and love on them. Blossom is still a little more skittish than the rest, but over time we're hoping to really get involved with these goats and get them involved in our family. Our daughter loves them already, and we're just hesitant to put her in with the goats so soon. So as you see here, we're kind of in a small enclosure, and we just built this kind of quickly because the opportunity presented itself. We got these 5 for in my opinion, a steal, and we definitely want to thank the guy for that. He was wanting to part with them. He was moving, and so we built this enclosure kind of quickly, knowing that we were going to move them to be our brush clearers as well. Here on our property, which is about 25 acres, we have a significant portion of it that's wooded, but we also have some of the property up toward the front, which has some brush in it and some forage that would be great for them. It would help cut down on our feed costs, and at the same time would allow them to have a job on our farm and to help us kind of clear that out so that we can get in there and chop those trees down for when we want to make it into pasture land. Here within this enclosure, we do have a place for them to sleep, although they prefer to lay on this lush green grass. We've got a couple of things for them to play with, some toys and treats and things like that, but the rest of it is just wire all the way around. So this shelter is, essentially it's just a pallet shelter. We put this whole thing up in about 20 or 30 minutes. Essentially we have 5 pallets, one across this side, 2 across the back, 1 across the right, and then 1 on the front here to give them some protection if the rain was to come down at a different direction. And then we just have some of this PVC roofing up toward the top, and we just build a slight slant to the roof. Everything, all in all, like I said, about 30 minutes, super easy. I would highly recommend you guys go out and find somewhere that's either selling pallets for cheap, or if you're in a situation like we are and you have a local supply shop that gives pallets away for free, you just have to go and pick them up. Highly recommend that. So before we got goats, we did a lot of research, particularly pertaining to what they are going to eat. And for our goats, we decided that their main source of food is going to be forage. As you can see here, we have plenty of forage up front for them to get into, and once they get this cleared, we'll have some electric fence up and around it. Once they get it cleared, we have 20 more acres of wooded land that we're going to put them in piece by piece and have them clear out a little bit at a time. We know that they're going to be super happy doing that, and it's also going to give them some great nutrients. As of right now, while they're in the pen and getting acclimated to us and to our homestead, we are feeding them a non-grain, unmedicated feed that we get from our local feed supply, as well as a container of alfalfa pellets. And when I say container, it's about 2 cups of alfalfa pellets, and that's just to give them some extra protein while they are in this pen and only eating off of regular grass. We also do have a mineral block, which we have not put in yet. We wanted them to get acclimated to their food and their water first before we introduce the mineral block, but we will integrate that into their diet shortly. So now that you've met our herd, go ahead and leave a comment down below which one you like the best. For me, I have to be completely honest with you, it's honey. But don't tell Michael Jordan. Be sure to stay up to date by clicking that subscribe button so that you never miss out on our kidding or on our milking, what we're doing with the goats, or maybe even what they're doing separately, because they do some pretty crazy things. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, and we'll see you in the next one.